In the wake of the National Assembly's decision to remove Clause 14 from the Elections Bill, many Gambians living abroad have expressed their disappointment, particularly those residing in the United States. I am on a reporting assignment in Denver, Colorado, a city home to a large Gambian community, and I decided to gather their reactions to the removal of Clause 14, effectively taking away diaspora rights to register and vote. Under the Gambia's 1997 Constitution, all citizens, whether residing at home or abroad, are granted the right to vote. Section 26 of the Constitution and Section 11 of the Elections Act explicitly empower the Independent Electoral Commission to register all Gambians, including those overseas, and maintain a voter registry for them. Furthermore, a 2021 Supreme Court ruling reaffirmed the constitutional right of all citizens, regardless of their location, to participate in national elections. Despite these constitutional guarantees, the recent removal of Clause 14 has raised serious concerns. Many Gambians had viewed the clause as essential to ensuring that citizens living abroad could vote without the need for a new electoral constituencies. During my visit to Denver, I spoke with members of the Gambian diaspora who voiced their frustration over the decision.
So why not Gambia? So it's a big disappointment for ñun. Fogon nañ the borough government su ñëwé dinañ doon prioritize li because li lañu gaay di won li ak xejna constitution bi pour change ko yu démé non génné loi yi nga xamné ñoo fa nekkon yo xamné correct wuñ pour ñu fix yoy non yépp way gis nañ né dal gaay ñi drag their feet on that. So hopefully they'll rethink, ñun loolu lañ hope dal ñu ngi hope né they rethink that decision by allow the diaspora to vote as well.
I think my reaction is that this is more of the same, going back to what they have done since the dictatorship was eliminated or was removed. And that is a question of denying the diaspora their due right, their citizenship rights to vote. Because the Constitution clearly indicated that diaspora has a right to vote and they should be registered to vote. There was also a court challenge for the lack of giving them access to voting. And the Supreme Court also reaffirmed that that should be the case. They should be registered and voted. So if the National Assembly goes against that, or the administration itself fails to implement those decisions by the Supreme Court, then it's a question of ignoring the law, which in a democracy should not be acceptable. And so therefore, I think both the IEC and the government should have taken steps to make sure that the diaspora as citizens, their rights are not infringed upon, as they are being done now for a very long time.
Akumata le pro yo decision reconsider. Karonia jube Gambian on the diaspora ka katabakel. It's an example all deal and all of them. Because Niajube, for example, back in 2024, Ibajala ko diaspora Gambians, the remittance sent Gambia for about $776 million. So, more than Manikol come for Ilafama Bedame K Dakewald. Faporeta, poor diaspora cut off way. Akumada, because I Gambian on Faname Banda. It gives you that self identity. Yajal. So, in the member Banta, Bebanta le bari, Hakilo bebe sule. Ekaja ko ninda bula da karte faro. Abe kumala because wala mu fanana isaja mu fanana sekang osoto.
It's very disappointing. Gambia mu another the Gambians in the diaspora is another region in the Gambia. So no regional in many along ila participation ila contributions towards the economy of that country is that high. Ni nata equal to vote la. It means that you are depriving another sector or another region of your own country not to contribute in the in the selections of their leader. So for me, I see no reason, because Gambia normally example letala to our neighboring countries like Senegal. If Gambia would like to use Senegal as an example for other cases, Why can't they use Senegal as an example for this election? Many Alanko Akake in the diaspora, Senegalese people, they vote in the Gambia. We see them. Guinea-Bissau people, they work in the Gambia. Guinea-Conakry, they vote in the Gambia. What is the difference between Gambia and those countries?
Well, I mean, the Constitution says very clearly the IEC should register the diaspora voters, eligible voters. It's very clear there they have a right to vote. So the IEC, the government providing the necessary funds to the IEC to register the diaspora, and they should vote. I don't see there are any obstacle other than lack of will. That's the way I'm going to put it. It's the lack of will, for whatever reason it is, for them not to do it. Because, I mean, you cannot say, okay, we don't have resources. There are many things that they do that the diaspora should be a priority compared to those things. But they ignore the diasporas if it is a question of funding. They ignore that and then fund those things that they think are priorities for them. So in other words, the implication for that is that the diaspora is not a priority for them. And secondly, I mean, if we say we are living in a democracy, the democracy does not just mean by just word of mouth. You have to show true actions. And if the Constitution is being violated, that is a very big risk to democracy, because some other person can come in and just infringe on the rights of citizens as they are doing now against the diaspora, and then that's just will be a violation of the Constitution and lack of democracy in our country. We don't want that.
I think I was disappointed. Glad it was a missed opportunity. I think the parliamentarians took a partisan line in their votes, and I think that's just unfortunate. I don't think those that voted in favor of it should give up. They should still engage their fellow parliamentarians to showcase their benefits to them, to try to persuade them, put their mind change, because the diaspora voting bloc is important.
They also shared their thoughts on possible solutions and the way forward following the rejection of diaspora voting rights.
The current government, there is a motive behind, or I'm not any reason but guy definitely see the effort they need to put in there to make sure it passes. Because diaspora be right to vote, majority be doing voter. Maybe that might be the reason. I'm just guessing. Your opinion, I could be wrong. You know. Why time you know ne tamit su nekké lolo tax gaay bëggun ko def nañ ko xalaata daal, because diaspora bi tam ñun tam Gambien nte nit lañ, you know, xam nga ñi nga amé suñu xel dañuy xalaat. So ñoom I feel like the best thing they should do is su nekké ne that's the fear they have, more ñu engage with the diaspora, see what our concerns are, gaay jëm address lool nonu, xam nga fo na mo gën. Because diaspora bitam so ko sété economic Gambia bi, I mean nekkuñ di bako anything like that, why danaka ñun ñoo ko nekk di maintain.
The way to make Gambia a better place is to bring true democracy, to the country, and to try to make the living standard of people a better one compared to what they are currently experiencing, so that people can have a better life for themselves and their families. So I would strongly encourage the administration and parliamentarians to look at the issues clearly and not look at just personal interests, and grant the diaspora the right to vote. That is their right.
It's never too late. Dunia be kew, country be kew. Most countries are trying to adapt to those systems whereby banko dingol mebe banta finance dabula no la democracy tole ise dabula no la political tole ikaje ko aka banko fon aka yirwa bale samananje ni nata men tamata sako men be American in Europe ni korosi roke ibe lafirin na komo banko katama nyame ani yirwa sifal membeje o yirwa finance daso.
After the rejection, I think, Hanisai Amambang, the government can go back to their drawing board like they always do, like the minister Diriya reject in the parliament. And then after he come up with another way, that is another option or is another way around it. I mean, if that is something Mealonko is possible, or he can come forward with it and then say that, there should be a way around this as well.
And the contribution of our Jube is about 30% of the GDP in 2024, almost 31%. Boy, is huge, a significant tobacco. You can compare that to our tourism sector. So therefore,
the way forward, I think, is for them to change their mind and know that the benefits outweigh, whatever it is that they're putting into considerations.
The decision by the ruling National People's Party and its allies in the National Assembly to vote against the law allowing diaspora voting has been met with widespread disillusionment. Many Gambians, especially those in the diaspora, have expressed difficulty understanding why, after over 8 years in office, President Adama Barrow's government has not taken the necessary constitutional steps to enable the diaspora to participate fully in elections. To gain further insights in the issue, I spoke to Esa Njai, a doctoral candidate and a political science lecturer, who offered his perspective on the rejection of the diaspora voting rights.
Ni nata diaspora so be tilimbali ala ke kan Gambia imanke nila interest be dami ibeka kambenne but nila interest dami kan yo sabawol to support party lines nyindo NPP kote UDP kote nyindol kote diaspora voting nying. I must mention I watched Almame Jiba on Kelfatu and he was arguing on constitutionality, saying that I think the minister misled them. And that's why, not a surprise, he came out, at least to say, there's another way out. I'm like, but why didn't you? We all saw how Tameru was passionate when he brings, bill to parliament. And we saw even Yankuba Tura's case, he was there. The first day he was there in court. So he was passionate about what he was doing. But Dauda will bring something without being passionate about it. He will not even defend him. So he misled them. The section 39 of the Constitution is very clear that every Gambian citizen, 18 and above, and of sound mind, shall have the right to be entitled to vote. You understand? And we voted for. So member it went further to say, shall be entitled to register in a National Assembly constituency for this purpose. Now, for a National Assembly constituency, constitution of Falia diaspora creator more for. I mean for them every Gambian, and I'm for Melbe Banda Melbe every Gambian. So it be planet Mars le bawo, it be Pluto le be Neptune le be Earth le be Minto le whatever. As long as you are a Gambian, you have the right to vote. So Melbe diaspora until be about a constituency letter. Ndabo Talinding constituency. Register me in Talinding constituency. You are from somewhere, Old Yundum.
Yes.
Register, somebody from Old Yundum. Somebody from Kiang West. Register the person in Kiang West. If I make sure you register. Come for Senegal, they plan so will diaspora constituencies. But Nimtol Parita, maybe that's starting with that. We could just vote, allow our people to vote in presidential election. Start with that. Parliamentary election, we can see. Even parliamentary election, we can have a paper ballot system for diaspora.
A system that can accommodate.
Exactly. Mabul and drum marimbolo use can game mobile follow. You understand? So, but people can be registered in their different constituencies. You don't necessarily have to create a separate constituency, diaspora constituency, so that they have a seat in parliament. Need for that state on the Lua that accommodate, then we can bring that. But for now, we have this opportunity to make sure that our diaspora continue to vote. Some people might say, well, why should the diaspora vote if we got tax? But hey, just last year, $775.6 million. You're not talking about dollars, but dollars. Now what I contribute? Well, I'm now part of the diaspora. So no one contribute. So and that's like 30-something% of 30.1 or so of the GDP. Now you are telling us that, and not only that, but diaspora project Jeleke Gambia, the diaspora club Nyanija. You talk about different people, Melam could be Borol Kila Gambia, it be Cool Kila Gambia. And now you're telling them that no, you can. I can understand you say they cannot contest for. If you have, or from a near dual citizenship, you cannot contest for presidency, you're gonna be a minister, and you're gonna be in National Assembly. It's not like Nimu diaspora. They being in the left and contest no president because passport kidnappable Gambian passport. Yeah. So being in diaspora doesn't mean that you cannot. So, but then anyway, from the contest of president, that's not my area. Anyway, that's not
you can
something.
Contest too.
No. So, but so if like you have that. dual citizen bolu ko te but carte fayo as basic fundamental right a fundamental right me like as basic as carte fayo just to allow that pour mo fanan fe so I don't think there should be a problem in that but I mean the Minister of Justice menke do wolen ka parliamentarian on mislead alaftala nyameng and politically he's serving a political master. I mean, so they just went ahead and did that.
On March 4th, 2025, during the first ordinary session of the National Assembly for the 2025 legislative year, members of the National Assembly began reviewing the clauses in the Elections Bill 2021. In a vote of 14 in support and 25 against, the National Assembly voted to delete Clause 14, which had addressed the registration and voting rights of Gambians abroad. Reporting for Kerfatu in Denver, Colorado, I am Buba Gajigo.